Hey, Nick with EagleRun23.com. Today we're covering one of my favorite topics. This is the buy versus build and how to build a super accurate, reliable, affordable AR-15. So ultimately, this is something that every gun enthusiast needs to know how to do. You can 100% build your own. I don't want anyone to discourage you from doing that. You can do it, you can learn more, you can get better at it, or you can definitely go buy something that already exists and is easy to customize down the road. There are two sides to this equation, and we're gonna cover that right now. EagleRun23.com is the sponsor of today's video. Absolutely nothing is sold on this website. The only thing it has on it is blog posts with entries, things to help you find the stuff we're talking about, detailed information about different components, where to find them. I just updated the ammunition link. I'll have it down below for you. This page I update every couple of weeks as often as I can whenever I see new things out there to help you kind of have a better idea about how much ammo should cost. Buy versus build. So building is sourcing your own components individually and coming up with something that exactly fits your needs. This gun was made before I uploaded videos to YouTube. In fact, it has not been on the channel very much at all. It's a Palmetto State Lower, custom rattle can paint job here, kind of a multi-cam thing. I'd like to do that again sometime, but it is very time consuming. You can tell the age in which this was because we have key mod on here. Selecting the handguard, all the components individually, is really fun. You can definitely get into the weeds, but that's one of the focuses of this YouTube channel, is going through those components, figuring out what things work, what doesn't, what we like, what we don't like, where some different experiences have been with stuff that works. If you have any questions at all, always leave them down below. My email box is always open to you, eaglerun23@protonmail.com. So if you're sourcing each individual component, you definitely can look for deals, buy things slowly, do it on a budget, and get everything exactly the way you want it the first time. And that is a big advantage of the DIY aspect. Now, purchasing a complete firearm. I'm using this one as an example because it was the closest one to reach. This is a complete Bear Creek Arsenal, 12-inch barrel. It's got the Bear Creek muzzle device, hand guard, everything. I did take the A2 grip off and put the dye-free company on there. That is one of the first things I do to every single gun when they come in. Love the dye-free grips. And for the first time, you guys are seeing this Discovery optic. This is a 4-16. You will see this optic a lot, and we will do a review on it. As of the filming of this, I have not shot it yet, but by the time you see this video, we'll have already put quite a few rounds through this optic. I have it scheduled for lots of work this week. So buying a gun that's already complete is beneficial in a couple of ways too. One, you can get deals on complete firearms. It's not to say that you can't get a deal this way. You're just not able to get a deal on every single component. Also, purchasing a complete firearm is good because one, you're operational from day one and you can just change a couple of things along the way. It is not difficult to swap a trigger, a grip, a stock, even a handguard, but if you're repurchasing things, that's where it saves money to just get the one you want in the first place. For example, if you bought a complete firearm, you kind of already purchased the handguard, and so if you go back and buy another one later, you're kind of buying it twice. As a quick teaser before we put this one away, this gun is getting some major renovations. It hasn't been touched or shot in several years. This used to be my A main one gun that was always ready to go, and since then other guns have taken its place and it didn't really have a job. Working with a couple of new suppliers, I have a new Break Arms handguard, so we're gonna finally get rid of this key mod on here and put a really nice brand new technology Break Arms handguard on here, but several other upgrades, obviously a dye-free grip, a couple other upgrades on the way for this. Make sure you're subscribed and you can see that video when it's ready. As we mentioned, don't be scared to do any of this. There's only a handful of things that you're gonna need to buy specific. Most of the things you probably already have. Don't let anyone gatekeep building for you. This is doable, you can do it. I'll help you if you need help. Let's do it. You're gonna need an armorer's wrench. You're gonna need a set of punches. Armorer's wrench and punches are easy to come by. You probably already have a little hammer. A couple of different vise blocks are handy. When you're torquing your barrels, it is a little bit difficult to use this. You're putting all that tension on the upper receiver. So if you're gonna do more than one, go ahead and get yourself an action wrench. This one's from DLD Hardware. Midwest Industries, several companies make those. You probably already have a torque wrench. This is a cheap one from Amazon that has done really well for me. I actually had a buddy who had a calibrator and I wanted to see where I was at. it was dead on last time I checked it, but that's been a year. Always want to make sure your torque is at least close. We don't want to be way over or way under. So you probably already have a lot of those tools, and you wouldn't really have to spend much money if you don't. So there's not much of a barrier there to get into it. If you're building, the first thing is you got to figure out what exactly do you want the job of this gun to do. You need to have a clear vision for that. And AR-15s are very flexible. You can do a lot of things with them in no matter what configuration you go to. But for example, this gun up here on top, this is a 223, but it's got a longer barrel than what I would want if I were building a gun for home defense or a truck gun. It's got a way longer barrel. That's a 20-inch barrel, and it has a bigger scope on it. So that gun was built with a different intention, but it still is an AR-15. The one I showed you here that we're going to be upgrading is a 16-inch barrel. 16-inch is a great length because you can have a full stock on there. It's easy to get in and out of vehicles with, working around your house, whatever. The 16-inch is pretty much the way to go, but there is definitely a case to be made with running a pistol brace and a 14.5. I wouldn't really go any shorter than 14.5. A 14.5 is very handy. You'll definitely notice a difference. And if you pin and weld your front muzzle device, you can get away with running a regular stock on there as well. Money does not take the place of skill. So consider that when you're purchasing your components. You can't assume that the more expensive part is going to be better or make you or your gun shoot better. Whichever way you decide to go, definitely train and practice, and then train some more and practice some more. And a couple of don'ts for you here. Don't skimp on maintenance. Don't skip on lubrication. Don't underestimate the bullet that you want to shoot along with the twist rate. If you want to know more about that, we've done a couple of videos on it, but for the most part, you can Google search this or watch one of our videos and it will help you align the bullet you want to shoot with your twist rate. This typically isn't a problem for all calibers, but there are several twist rates available in the 5.56 platform 223. Now, just in general, stick to the basics: an optic, a sighting system, maybe a light if it's going to be used in home defense. For the most part, don't over accessorize. Keep it simple and you'll be happy with that. So tips for if you're going to buy a gun. First of all, I do have an email list where we send out deals. You can sign up for that at eaglerun23.com. Occasionally, we see really good deals on complete firearms. So if you're looking for something that's more budget, something that's going to be more flexible, or something more high-end, there are deals on those from time to time, and I try to blast those out on Twitter and on the email. If you're going to go the route of buying, you could get something that already has the handguard you want on it, and then you know later, hey, I'm going to upgrade to a different trigger or swap a grip out. Keep the easy things going there. The last part to figuring out exactly what job your gun's going to do is going to be your choice in optics. You can't go wrong with a red dot, especially if you're staying inside of 100 yards for your typical job that you want this gun to do. And LPVO, these have come a really long way in technology, and it's great to see a 1:6, a 1:8. There's even some 1:10 LPVOs. These are great because you can back it down, turn the dot on, and it works like a dot. And then if you need a little bit more range, crank that zoom up and make a little bit better shot on your target. Scope's obviously a great choice. If you're going to be shooting out past 100 yards, go with a scope. Lots and lots of scope options. For the most part, I like to see most standard duty AR-15s set up with a dot, maybe a backup sight as well. And I have a list, again, over on eaglerun23.com of my favorite optics right now, and I update that all the time. So whether you choose to buy or build, I'm here for you to help you out. If you need anything, let me know in the comments down below. Shoot me an email. Follow us on Instagram and over on x.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.